Hey, this is this, and I didn't really want to do this video reply, but I guess I have to. But anyways, Cypher's son, you were saying a lot of weird things about Adobe Flash and it not crashing on you and all that because Apple has more support. I mean, Microsoft has more support, and you said that you're unable to run different operating systems on your Mac, which is all false. I mean, I like most of your other videos, but you clearly got certain information wrong. First of all, Apple has turned to the Intel processors and basically freed themselves up from the PowerPC processor, which makes them all x86 platform based. And technically, you can boot Macs to other operating systems, even Ubuntu. I've even managed to dual boot this my Mac to Ubuntu a few times once, but that's a long story. Secondly, yeah, Star Trek Online is not going to be ported to the Macs, unfortunately. But you have to understand, a lot of people don't want to understand that. How can I put this nicely? PC gaming is a dying market, unfortunately. In their survival, I've said this 100 times. You said look up Star Trek Online. Well, I looked up WoW and Warhammer. Now, WoW immediately started out on Mac OS X, but Warhammer Online was never meant for the Mac ports, but later was. And yes, I can boot PC programming on my Mac because my Mac has something called, hold on, APPLE. Darwin operating system. You can look it all up, Apple Darwin. And it's basically Unix. And it comes from the BSD operating system, which everybody knows that BSD got some of the developing tools from Linux, which basically means you can do Linux-like programming on a Mac. I'll say that again. You can do some Linux programming, some Linux-like programming on a Mac, and that also includes Wine. There is a port for Wine for Mac OS X, and there's a program called let's see if I can find it. Oh, that's to the car. Crossover, which is essentially Wine, but a paid program. But there you go. So you're wrong there again. And secondly, if you look at anybody who has done Hackintoshes, you can it's actually gotten pretty easy for them to convert Macs over into the PC environment. Honestly, I don't care if Apple sets Mac OS X free. I know you're saying setting a box of a box, but the iPod, the iPad, and the iPhone all have Darwin, which is, and the thing about Darwin is that it's open source. Yeah, Apple has contributed to open source, and they have done very well in that area. Now, as for Flash, that's nice that Flash says it's never crashed on you in Windows, but I can honestly tell you, as a computer repair service operator myself, and I know you are one as well, that I've had problems with Flash even under Windows. I've worked under Vista, I've worked under XP, and I've worked under Windows 7, Vista being the worst. And Microsoft is more closed source than Apple is. I mean, and Microsoft has released a few programs into the open source, but Microsoft was nice enough to release Halloween Documents 2 and 3 as part of their FUD campaign. And FUD was basically Microsoft's way of shutting down open source. But now I've had millions of problems. Now, do I think Flash needs to be put on the iPod, iPhone, and all? And yeah, it does. Is it buggy? Yeah. Is it buggy under Windows? Yes. And is it a perfect developing tool? No. Unfortunately, Flash, when I see YouTube with their 1080p, when they say, you know, you can watch this under 1080p HD, I know that's bullshit. Because when I put that thing up to full screen, I still see blotches. Under both Windows and Mac. Because Flash has horrible video controls. Everybody knows this. Everybody who's worked under Flash, and I've actually talked to Flash developers, and they say its video controls are shit. Silverlight actually has superior video controls. Now, and not only that, YouTube is switching to HTML5. And with HTML5, well, it's a whole different type of ball game, and I'm hoping it will kill Flash. It might as well. It's got the capabilities, but please research some information before you come out with it, because, you know, Warhammer Online was never meant to be released on a PC, but it was ported out to the Mac because simple fact was PC gaming market is dying. And the reason why the PC gaming market is dying is, well, the consoles are killing it. You know, just look at the Xbox 360. That thing is basically a miniature PC, and it can do all the gaming stuff and screw having spectacular graphics. Just as long as they can play a game, that's all people really care about. I mean, the Wii is the highest selling console of all time because of that simple fact. But I don't know anything about HTML5 right now, but I do know it's supposed to have better video control, and I'm just blabbering now. Okay, that's it.